Okay, so I have lost 34 pounds since October with the help of semaglutide. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you what I eat in a day and answering a bunch of questions that you guys have had about my weight loss and semaglutide experience. I'm also very excited that MIDI Health is sponsoring today's video. So if you are also a woman and you've struggled with weight gain, weird cravings, or feeling like your body is suddenly working against you, welcome to being a woman, right? And it's not just about willpower. Sometimes it's about your hormones wreaking havoc behind the scenes. Semaglutide has helped me cut down on my impulse snacking, and I also don't have that constant food noise that I've had before. Honestly, it is life-changing. So if you haven't heard of MIDI Health before, they were actually created by women for women, and they are helping bridge that gap in healthcare that a lot of us experience. I know I've shared with you lots of times before about different things that I've gone to providers about, and sometimes I feel like they don't take my symptoms seriously. I feel like I have to go to multiple providers to get answers. It's honestly just super frustrating not to feel like you're not being listened to by your provider and to have your symptoms dismissed. So let me tell you about how MIDI Health can help bridge that gap. It might just be the missing piece that many of you have been searching for. MIDI Health is a virtual care clinic. They specialize in helping women navigate midlife. So whether it's weight gain, perimenopause, menopause, or just feeling off, their clinicians listen. They also ask the right questions to help you figure out what's really going on. The process is super easy. All you need to do is book your virtual visit by taking a few minutes to set up your account, enter your insurance information, tell MIDI about your symptoms, and then choose a time to meet your clinician. You'll discuss your symptoms and health history in depth with a nurse practitioner. They're trained in weight management, perimenopause or menopause, and skin treatment. They get the tests that you need, whether that's blood work or imaging. MIDI personalizes your treatment for you, and they'll send you to a convenient local facility that accepts your insurance. It's easy to integrate MIDI into your health routine. You'll also get all of the virtual follow-ups that you need to dial in your treatment and take preventative steps. They'll also partner with your other doctors and refer you for in-person treatment if needed. And there are no membership fees or hidden costs. And I think the best part is that MIDI bills your insurance like any other healthcare provider, which is super convenient. One of the things that they offer is compounded semaglutide, which is what I am taking, which when you pair that with healthy habits can help with sustainable weight loss. It's their most popular service because, let's be honest, the struggle is real when it comes to midlife weight changes. So if you've been struggling or feeling dismissed by your providers, or you're just curious about your options, you can check them out at trymidi.com/Jen. And don't forget to use my code SAVE15, that's SAVE15. That's gonna give you $15 off your first prescription product. Highly encourage you guys to try it. Once again, I'll have the link in the description box below. You can click on that or also tap the screen right here. It's trymidi.com/Jen and get started on your journey to better health. Okay, so let's get into what I eat in a day. I have to tell you guys that since I've been on semaglutide, I was never really a huge breakfast person anyway, but I just don't wake up hungry now. And so a lot of times what I end up doing is in the mornings, I'll just have coffee or an energy drink, and then I don't eat lunch until like 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes on the weekends I do eat breakfast. I don't know, it just kind of depends, but overall I've been eating a lot less. So I haven't necessarily been tracking my calories on a daily basis, but I will do it for this video just for informational purposes. So let's get started with lunch. Okay, so I legit don't have anything planned for lunch or dinner today, but I did find a couple things in my fridge that I could make. So I have these tamales that I got from Hungry-Roo. I don't think I'm actually gonna open those right now. I think I'm gonna do a salad with these shawarma style chicken thighs because I've got tomatoes, I've got lettuce, I've got cucumbers, I've got feta. I also picked up this lemon vinaigrette at Walmart over the weekend, which I think will go really great with the feta. And then I think I've also got some herbs in here also. Yeah, I've got dill and I think some parsley, green onion. So this chicken is super easy to make. You just put it in with its juices in a skillet, warm it up. I like to chop it up a bit as it's cooking. Personally, I think having pre-cooked proteins in your fridge is one of the best ways to do meal prep during the week, and you can then use the protein for whatever you want if you don't like eating like prepped, like leftover food. I also use Factor meals a lot for lunches, but I did not put an order in this week because I thought I was gonna be out of town, but then the plans changed, so I'm home, so I didn't really have anything prepped for this week. One thing I'm also pretty good at is washing my produce at the beginning of the week. So like I got this romaine lettuce, and I did go ahead and wash it this weekend. I did not cut it up because the smaller that you cut up the lettuce, the more likely it is to brown in the refrigerator. So I just went ahead and washed and dried the leaves and then like that, and that's perfect for using it for whatever you want during the week. Also, I thought I had tomatoes, but apparently my family has eaten them. I wonder if Adam took them to work. There was just like a small container of cherry tomatoes that I had washed. So either Connor ate them for a snack last night or Adam took them to work. No big deal. I guess I do have some of these mini peppers, so I'll go ahead and add some of these. Okay, so I've got parsley. I love adding like a bunch of fresh herbs to my salad. I just think it really gives you a good pop of fresh flavor. I'm gonna add some green onions too. So I've been adding green onions to everything lately. I don't know what it is. I just have been loving them a lot. I do have a red onion on the counter, but I don't want to cut into it just for a few slices for this salad. And I do have some mint also, which I'm not going to use a ton of that. Okay, so my chicken is done. I just used half of it. This was a 10-ounce package of chicken, so I'll reserve the other half for lunch tomorrow. And then you guys know I always love getting the chunked feta cheese because it tastes so much better if you buy it like this and cut it up yourself. If you love feta cheese but you haven't tried it this way, it's good. And typically it's more cost effective also than buying it crumbled. Okay, so you might think this is a little weird, but I promise you it tastes good. So I was over at a friend's house for dinner one time and she made these side salads, and I can't remember everything it had in it, but she did like a vinaigrette and then it had walnuts and feta. And ever since then, I have absolutely loved that combination. So if you like both of those things, try it. It's very good. So there's my salad slash bowl, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we'll add some dressing. I don't know how much that is, but I probably used a lot more than 2 tablespoons. It only has 50 calories per 2 tablespoons, so try this. If I had any tzatziki sauce, I would add that. I actually have all the ingredients for tzatziki sauce. Something I obviously could have prepped, but I'm not gonna mess with making any right now. That vinaigrette will be just fine. That's really good. Make that make that exact thing. I love the herbs in there. That dressing is very good. Super light. You know what? I think this would make a good pasta salad dressing also. And now I'm just thinking, what am I gonna make for dinner? Because like I said, I don't have anything planned for this week. I probably need to get on that. One of the other things also is like forcing yourself to get creative by like not eating out, not going to the grocery store, just using what you have in your house. Sometimes you come up with the best recipes that way. I didn't film it because I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but I'll have to make it again and film it for you guys. I actually made like a Cajun Alfredo chicken pasta a couple weeks ago, and Kira loved it so much and she keeps talking about it. She's like, when are you gonna make that chicken? When do you make that spicy chicken pasta again? But the kind of the like modification I had to make with that is that I only had 1 packet of that Alfredo sauce mix that I normally use. And so I basically had to like supplement it with like milk and whatever I had in the house, but it actually turned out really good. Okay, I'm gonna put all the food back in the fridge. I'm gonna take my salad upstairs. I'm gonna eat. I have about 20 minutes before I have to get on another call. Okay, so here's what's left of my lunch. I definitely could not eat it all, but I did eat most of the chicken, so that's good. Okay, so I have no idea what to make for dinner tonight, and so I'm just gonna do something easy that I don't necessarily have to think about, and that is gonna be tacos and Spanish rice, because I always have ground beef in the freezer. So I took out a couple pounds of that. I'm thawing it right now, and then I'll show you guys how I make my Spanish rice. It's the only rice recipe that I make on the stove that actually turns out well. I'm gonna start the rice first since that will take the longest. I've got 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in this pan, and I'm gonna add 2 cups of just regular white rice. And then you just wanna kind of stir this around and toast it until it is a little bit browned. You do want a skillet that has a lid for this recipe because you want to cover the rice while it's cooking. Okay, we're gonna add 4 cups of water. Okay, so I added 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I probably should have used a bigger skillet than this, but whatever, it'll be fine. And then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, which is this. So the only other things that you need to add are some cumin, black pepper, and salt. And if I had some cilantro, I would like throw a few of the stems in here just to give it some flavor, but I'm out of cilantro right now, so it'll still be fine without it. But my garlic, I should have put the garlic in when I was sauteing the rice, but I can't think apparently. So I'm gonna put a lid on this, and then this simmers on like super low heat, like barely simmering for 30 to 40 minutes. Just keep checking on it until the rice has absorbed all the liquid. So I'm browning up my ground beef. I just took this out of the freezer like, I don't know, a couple hours ago and put it in a bowl of cold water, and it thaws pretty quickly, honestly, or you can thaw it in the microwave, which I've done plenty of times. I like to add this minced onion. It's the dried minced onion. I think, well, number one, it's easier than chopping up fresh onion, but my kids like it better because they don't really care for big chunks of onion in the taco meat. So I'll also add some salt and pepper, and then I keep this container on hand. This is actually my last container of like pre-made taco seasoning. After this is gone, I'm going to just start making my own blend and keep it in a mason jar in my spice cabinet. Okay, so I don't have any tomatoes, but I have all of the other stuff for tacos. So I've got cheese, sour cream, taco sauce. I do have onion. I'm gonna dice up a little bit of that. Adam likes that on his tacos. Lettuce and salsa. And then I've got some tortillas. Okay, I'm gonna add some water to my ground beef. I just eyeball the seasoning, and then we'll just simmer this until the water or the liquid reduces. This is ground beef that we get. We get a half of a cow every year in our, we have it in our deep freeze. It's from a cattle farmer that my husband works with. So the beef that we get is actually pretty lean, and most of the time I don't even have to drain it. Okay, so I like to warm up my tortillas in a dry skillet. So that's what I do, just to kind of warm them and toast them a little bit on either side. This rice didn't turn out the best. I did not, against my better judgment, rinse it before I sauteed it in the oil, but it's fine. It still tastes fine. It'll actually do better if once we eat this, well, obviously I have leftovers, I'll put it in the fridge, and then it warms up really well. Okay, so it's a little bit later now and I'm done with supper. I just washed, I gotta show you this. Our dishwasher broke. So we're gonna have a glass of wine while I tell you about this. So what happened was last night I put in a load of dishes, which is actually this load of dishes that I just hand washed and put back in the dishwasher to dry. And as you know, we have a Bosch dishwasher. I've talked about it many times. I love it. It's the best dishwasher I've ever had. We've literally had 0 issues with it until now. So what has been happening is that we built our house in 2017. So this year will be 8 years. And so when we moved in, obviously we bought all new appliances. And so something to think about when you do that is that everything's gonna break almost at the same time. So like last year, our dryer broke. We were having to like hang clothes to dry. We were taking like baskets of wet clothes over to Adam's parents' house to dry. It was a pain. Obviously, we finally got that fixed. We didn't have to buy a new dryer. This year, the lid on the washer broke, and so had to get that fixed. Didn't have to buy a new washer, just had to get the lid fixed. But like at this point, it's interesting, right? Because you can get, well, I mean, I haven't priced them recently, but like what, you can probably get a washer for like what, 800 bucks? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. It was like over 300 to have them come fix the lid. So obviously cheaper, but it's like when the cost of repair is like half the cost of a new thing, you know? We do have Maytag washer and dryer, so I'm sure they'll last many more years. I'm hoping that they'll be able to just come and repair the dishwasher and we won't have to get a new one. But if we do have to get a new one, I'll definitely get a Bosch. You guys have probably heard the story about my fridge. It didn't really break, just things started falling apart on it. So like the refrigerator itself was still functional, but like the ice maker stopped working. The pull-out drawers started, like the plastic started cracking. It was a mess. It was a Samsung refrigerator. I always tell everyone, absolutely do not get a Samsung refrigerator. Now we have a Samsung gas range, and actually that has been pretty okay. I haven't had any issues with it. I actually got an oven thermometer not too long ago because I thought the temperature was off, and it's actually pretty much right on. So yeah, that's like, well, welcome to being an adult and fixing all your appliances when you least expect it. But the one thing I am thankful for is that I was actually able to do two, because Easter was this weekend. I was able to do 2 loads of Easter dishes in the dishwasher before it broke, and then I just kind of had the last one with like odds and ends. So anyway, I just spent, I think it took me 90 minutes. I don't know, I just put on a YouTube video, and I know it took me over an hour to wash all these. Anyway, I feel like Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I know lots of people don't have dishwashers. In fact, when I first moved out on my own, and up until we bought our first house, I didn't have a dishwasher at home. And actually the first house we bought, the dishwasher was so terrible that I rarely used it. And if I did, I had to wash the dishes by hand before I put them in the dishwasher. In our last house, we had a KitchenAid dishwasher, and that one did pretty well. It never broke on us, but the joys of home ownership, I guess you could say. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to pack the kids lunch, or at least kind of figure out what I'm gonna make them tomorrow, because sometimes what happens is I don't necessarily sleep in, but I push my snooze a few too many times, and then I'm down here rushing making sandwiches at the last minute. Okay, so I cut some oranges up. What I've been doing is peeling them this way. Like, you know, you cut I should have showed you guys on video. I don't know what I was doing. You cut both ends off, and then you stand it up, cut the peels off, and then I just cut it into like slices like this. Super easy to eat that way. Okay, so I have the kids' lunches packed for tomorrow. That's good. I gave Connor a PBJ. He requested PBJ over turkey, and then some goldfish crackers. We still have some Easter candy left, so I put a couple of those in there. Oranges, peppers, cucumbers, and then this little container is really cute, and it fits well in there for ranch. Kira's got a wrap with turkey, cheese, pepperoni, granola bar, Easter candy, oranges. Kira doesn't like ranch, so she's just got peppers and cucumbers and some goldfish crackers. This reminds me of, I don't know if you guys know, when I first started my channel in the capacity that it is now, I used to do a bunch of like school lunch videos, and my kids were younger then, so I could do like, I guess I still could do like the cute like little cookie cutter stuff and themed lunches, but they still want me to pack their lunch, so that's nice. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go upstairs and take a shower. I like to try to get in bed around 11. I may eat a snack after I shower to take my medicine, but we'll see. Okay, so I just got out of the shower and I decided I'm gonna take my meds and eat some Golden Grams. So one thing I was gonna say, my glasses are fogging up because I took a hot shower. One thing I was gonna say is that I have not been recently tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal, because I don't normally eat enough to even have to like necessarily worry about it. I will calculate them, what I had today, and then I'll put it on the screen right here just so we're all aware and on the same page. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to do more of these videos. If y'all have any questions about my experience on semaglutide and any of the side effects that I have had, which have been super minimal, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll answer there. Otherwise, if you're interested in compounded semaglutide, check out MIDI Health. Again, I'll have that discount code and link in the description box below.